got a letter in the mail, and it said on the outside, "Greetings." Greetings.
Yeah, act like it was going to be good mail, huh?
Yeah.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Greetings.
And then we had to go to Philadelphia, up to the bus station or train station, I forget which it was. And there's a whole line of us lined up, and we had to say a few things, and they said, "Take one step forward." We took one step forward. They said, "You're in the Army now." It is a
Wow.
one step forward. You're in the Army.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said you can remember your serial number?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell me now?
33839-544.
Wow.
You can look that up in the Army thing. You'll find that's right. I was drafted in 1945 and trained in Camp Blanding, Florida. And after training, we went to on a boat from New York to Glasgow, Scotland. And we rode a train all the way through England, down to Southampton, England, got on a boat, went over to Le Havre, France. And from Le Havre, France, we went up through Germany, went into Czechoslovakia, and we had to leave Czechoslovakia because the Russians had taken over half of it, and they didn't like us, and they would fire mortars at us at night, us Americans. So we left, and we went to back into Germany. I ended up in Bad Tölz, Germany, which is south of Munich, and where Hitler trained his SS officers. It was a huge building. It reminds you of the Pentagon in Washington. From the outside, it didn't look too good, but inside they had swimming pools, dance halls, you name it, they had it. And that's what Hitler provided for his SS officers. So after all that, a lot of them ended up being prisoners, and they were janitors there for us American soldiers. And then shortly after that, I went up to Bad Tölz, which is north of Munich, to the concentration camp. I saw where the Jews had been imprisoned, and then, of course, I came home.
What was the name of that particular camp?
Dachau.
Dachau?
Dachau, north of Munich. You look on the map, you'll see it.
You said it still smelled like death?
Yep, yep.
Wow.
Dachau, Germany.
So there's no doubt in your mind that people were massacred there?
Oh, yeah. We have people that say it didn't happen. I know it did.
Over there, where would you go back if you could go back? And you said there was a castle somewhere?
Yes. Up from Heidelberg, Germany. I was stationed there for a while. Up in the mountains, there was a castle. And the castle had a big archway, and the man who owned it there, and I don't know what you'd call him, but he made this archway for his daughter on her 16th birthday. And so if you ever go to Germany, Heidelberg's a beautiful place to go. And of course after the wars ended, we got to go where Hitler had his place up on the mountain. I can't remember the name of it now.
Was it the Wolf's Lair?
Something like
or
that.
Eagle's Nest?
Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest, okay.
Yeah, we went up there and saw that.
Is that Birch's Garden?
Birch's Garden, yeah.
Yeah? What do you remember about the Eagle's Nest? Was it plundered by the time you guys got there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then later on, we got to take tours of Switzerland, and we enjoyed that. Then we came home, you know. So,
you said something about, what'd you do to kill time by the Rhine River one time? You had piles of, they called them potato mashers?
yeah, we threw a few of them back in, exploded them.
Would they blow up in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you get one high enough to blow up in the air?
And it's dangerous, too.
But then you thought you'd live forever, right?
Yeah. But, like in Czechoslovakia, we didn't get to stay there long because of the Russians, you know, and so we had to come back into Germany.
What did that one lady say? She was coming out saying something to you in the street?
A friend of mine and I was walking down the street one day, and this German elderly lady come out in the street, put her finger up in my face, and said, "My son was killed." And she said it in German, and I didn't understand her, but my friend did. And so if I'd have knew what she said, I'd have told her, "Well, thank Hitler."
Yeah.
You know, so that's about it.
What was the one time where you all took the rifle from the guy and he was trying to take a house for some people? Or?
That was in Czechoslovakia. Yeah, the Czechs come in. We were staying in this private house, and next door was they were originally from Germany, but they were citizens of Czechoslovakia then. And a Czech soldier come out in front of the house one day and was marching with his rifle. They gave him 1 hour to get out. And some of our soldiers went out, took his rifle away from him and booted him in the rear and told him to go, and he went.
He wasn't going to take their house, was he?
Nope, nope.
And you had a brief time in Austria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a pass there for 24 hours. I could go anywhere I wanted when the colonel didn't want me.
Colonel Pollock?
Yeah. But I also got to go to Wittenberg, Germany. I took a chaplain there where Martin Luther nailed a thesis to the door.
And that represented what, them leaving the Catholic Church? Or?
Yep, yep.
Protestant, they were protesting certain things about the Catholic Church.
Yep, Wittenberg, Germany.
Wow. And you saw the Autobahn too, right?
Oh yeah, on the Autobahn.
Wow.
I was all over Germany.
Man.
You know, I didn't keep no notes on it, so it's all a memory. You know. Went through Nuremberg when they was having the trials. Nuremberg, Germany. The Autobahn went right near it, and well, in the suburbs of Nuremberg, and so I think it was Bremerhaven where we shipped out, Philip.
Okay.
I think it was Bremerhaven, Germany. You know.
And you came back on the Westerly Victory.
Yeah, American ship. Went over on a Netherlands ship, the New Amsterdam. I remember it. So,
you even had your hands on a Nazi gun there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, a number of them, but I couldn't send them home unless you took them apart and sent a part at a time. So then they, after the war ended, of course the war ended, I said in May '45. Why, they sent us on a trip to Switzerland, and we went to Zurich and Lucerne, and had a good time. Rode a train, no expense to us. And
Uncle Sam paid the tab?
Yep. So in the World War II, I received the Army of Occupation Medal, World War II Victory Medal, European Middle Eastern campaign medal and a good conduct medal.
Good.
So you can tell them, PJ, Grandpa had a good conduct.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and then I came home. I came home to the USA. I departed on August the 5th, 46. Arrived in New York City on August the 15th, 46. 10 days.
Wow.
Yep.
10 days.
To the USA. Then, of course, I was discharged.
You and another GI were out somewhere and you ran out of gas?
Yes, we were out there in Germany. I don't remember where's the exact place. But we ran out of gas and we went in this German house and asked them if they had any petrol. They said no, but the man next door would. So we went over, and this was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And the man was in bed, but he got up, and he was a former German fighter pilot.
Like a Luftwaffe? Is that
Luftwaffe fighter. He got us some gas. We gave him, I think, cigarettes or something, or money for it, you know. And
So a Luftwaffe pilot gave
Yeah.
you gas to help you,
Yeah.
American GI. You had a good heart. But you gave him some smokes. Were they probably
I think
lucky
it's cigarettes we gave him.
lucky strikes?
They couldn't get them, you know.
Lucky strikes were a nickel a pack when you...
Yeah. 50 cents a carton.
Yeah.
There's 10 in a carton.
I've got a picture of your ration card, and all it's got is sig stamped all over it.
Yeah.
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 I've got next on my list here that you were at the 3rd Army Hospital in Heidelberg when Patton passed away.
Yep. When General Patton.
Mm-hmm.
And General Patton had been in a wreck. And, well, he had come home, and they had a parade in New York City for him after the war ended. Then he come back to Germany to the 3rd Army headquarters, and he was in a wreck. And he ended up in the hospital, and he died in a few days. You know.
You said his Colonel Pollock came to
Yeah.
you? What did he say?
Colonel Pollock
Mm-hmm.
was his doctor taking care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel Pollock was from New Jersey. Yeah, I remember that.
You said he came to you, and you had to get him to Heidelberg, or from Heidelberg? When Patton got hurt, he's like, we need to go to Heidelberg?
No, we were at Heidelberg.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, that's where we stationed, Heidelberg.
Okay.
We lived there in part of the hospital
Wow.
where the 3rd Army had it. And, Patton's 3rd Army.
And that car you drove was it a German staff car, or?
Yeah, it was a Mercedes. It was a Mercedes-Benz, the best one they made with a cloth top. You see them in the movies. Hitler riding in them, you know.
Yeah. And you said, what, you were on the Autobahn or something, you stepped into it and it started making a noise and took off?
Yeah, it had, what do they call it?
Is it either a supercharger or a...
Supercharged.
Okay.
And you pushed it to the floor, it spun the tires.
Wow.
Yeah.
And weren't you driving somebody somewhere once and you're going around a corner and somebody was coming on and the commanding officer said, don't you think we should get over or something? You told me about that
Yeah.
one.
We pulled, I got off the edge of the road. He said, don't do that, you might run over a bomb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Booby traps and
booby
stuff.
trap. Yeah.
Man, oh man. You drove into Austria just so you could say you were in Austria?
Yeah, from Bad Tolz, it was only a few miles over the Austrian border. So I went over by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't supposed to, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell the Army.
Yeah. You think, was it Sergeant LeBeach will come find you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, you were in Austria. Now, you had, being a driver, you had some kind of pass. Was it you could...
Yep. I had a pass that never run out. I'd go anywhere I wanted. And we would put jerry cans full of gas in our trunk, me and another soldier, and we'd drive everywhere.
Well,
You name it, we'd go.
and so you'd pull up to a checkpoint where normally guys are supposed to be in, and the MPs would be smiling because they think they're going to lock you up,
Yeah.
and
We had a permanent pass.
that disappointed them to see that you had a
Yep.
permanent pass.
Yep.
That's something.
So,
I never heard of that. That's kind of neat that you had that. And you were out running all over the countryside. You carried a 45?
yep. 45 pistol.
Yeah.
I carried it, ate with it, and slept with it.
You said they weren't too accurate back then?
No.
Yeah.
They made a lot of noise when you shot them, though.
Yeah. And speaking about armament, you were trained on a mortar?
Yep. That's in heavy duty training.
It says 81 millimeter?
Yep.
And also, as far as guns, there was a Nazi gun. We're not sure whether it was a PPK or P-38, but you had one that came off a German soldier.
Yeah, we couldn't bring them home,
Oh.
but you could ship them home in parts. Guys would take a gun and take it apart, send part of it home, send another part home.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how there toward the end that Hitler was just pretty much absorbing everybody, and there in the army there was very young and very old.
In Czechoslovakia, we had a row of prisoners, German prisoners. Most of them had German uniforms on. And this one row I've never forgot, there was an old man about 60 or 70 years old standing there, and a 16-year-old boy standing beside of him. Prisoners.
Wow.
German prisoners. Yep.
Wow. But
Never forgot it.
Hitler put anybody in his army he could get, huh?
At the end of it, that's what he had, the old and the young. Yeah.
And you said you went through a lot of towns, and they were just like, we were watching that movie, The Monuments Men,
Yeah.
the other night, and you said that looks so much like a lot of towns
Yeah.
that you went through.
They were bombed, and of course mortars and had tore the buildings down, and all they had was just enough room for you to drive a Jeep through.
Wow.
That was it.
Just devastated.
Yeah.
We're talking about at the end of the war, you said they set some kind of cables or something somebody told you about across the road?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the war, and even before the war, they would take and put a cable like in the woods, and the road went through, and they'd put a cable over just high enough to catch you,
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
and so you had to be careful. You drove slow and your eyes open,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you could lose your head.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about, we've got pictures of you on the Westerly Victory. Where did that take you from, and where to? Where did you go on that big boat? It was called the Westerly Victory. Big ship.
I think we come home on it. We come home on the Westerly Victory.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
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 There's one more thing. Actually, it's kind of neat to end this segment on a good note. You, what was the guy that, was it your sergeant that said to keep your eyes open?
We were there in Czechoslovakia. We fell out one morning, and the sergeant we all lined up, and he's checking to make sure everybody's there. He said, "Men, keep your eyes open today." Of course, you always have one wise guy. He said, "What's up, sir?" He said, "You look like a fool with them closed." What's up, sir?
All right, Dad, it's been 68 years since you got out of the Army. Okay, right?
Okay.
Did you got out what year?
46.
1946, and right now it's 2014. I just want to ask you one question.
What?
What's your serial number?
I'll tell it if you won't tell nobody.
Okay.
338-39544.
Isn't that something? After all those years, that's
Yep.
68 years. You can
Yep.
remember that.
I've got it.
You said, matter of fact, when people ask you for your Social Security number, sometimes you blurt that out, right?
Yep.
Because you've been trained. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dad.
Yep.